lay literally dying in the cardiac surgical intensive care unit, I told the vice president that the mechanical heart assist device scheduled for the next day couldn't wait until morning. It would be too late. He looked for a moment towards Miss Cheney, Liz, and Mary, and then said calmly, "Okay, let's do it." That's all he said. "Okay, let's do it." Months later, as he recalled that night, he said that he thought he would probably die, and he was at peace with it. The Latin word for heart is cor. It's also the source for the word courage. To have heart is to have courage. I don't think courage is necessarily the absence of fear. Rather, it's the ability to persevere even in the presence of fear. Time and time again, that's what Vice President Cheney was able to do. His wasn't a false courage cloaked by a thin veneer of bravado, but rather a genuine fortitude in the face of true mortal peril. He lived most of his adult life chased by a relentless disease intent on killing him, but he never looked over his shoulder. He only looked ahead. The hospitalization to implant the ventricular assist device was long and complicated. He was in the ICU for more than a month, but not for a single moment without his family watching over him. When I entered his ICU room on his sickest days, I would often find Mrs. Cheney at the base of the bed, rubbing his feet. Liz and Mary took turns sleeping in the hospital. He just barely survived. But the device ultimately enabled him to recover and last the 20 months until he was gifted with a new heart. Today, as we remember the Vice President's life, I ask you also to think about the anonymous family who, in their time of terrible grief 13 years ago, donated the heart of someone they treasured to a stranger they would never know. It was a blessing and an act of love. A gift that gave him many more summer afternoons on the Snake River with his fly rod, and most profoundly, precious time to watch his 7 grandchildren grow up. This was what was most important to Dick Cheney. At a recent birthday party, he told them, "I am so proud of all of you." He was an American patriot and a man who loved his family. I was honored to be his doctor. It was an even greater honor to be his friend.